Hi all. Today, let us see the parallel lines and the angles formed between them. Parallel lines are lines that never intersect each other. And you know how to represent a line. A line can be either represented by two capital letters or one small letter. So here line M and N are parallel to each other. Now, let us consider another line called T, and you can see that they are intersecting both the lines. Such a line which intersects two or more lines is called a transversal. So a transversal is a line that intersects two or more lines. Now we will see how many angles are formed between two parallel lines intersected by a transversal. So you know there are 8 angles, and let us name them 1 to 8. You can even name A, B, C, D small letters until you finish all the angles. Now we will see the first property. This is called corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are those angles which are formed at 2 points of two lines which are parallel, which are cut by a transversal. You can remember it by following the letter F. The angle which is formed at the top of the first line and at the top of the second line, they are always equal. Let us see how is it on the figure. The angle which is formed here is the same as the angle which is formed here at the second point. Also, the angle which is formed at the bottom of the first line and at the bottom of the second line are also equal. We will see it here. This angle and this angle are equal. Same is the case you can also refer to by the letter F, which is facing to the left side. The same happens here. Angle at the top are equal. Also, the angle at the base are equal. Also, the angle at the bottom of these lines are equal. Corresponding angles are equal. Let us see in detail. Here there are 4 sets of parallel lines, and the angles are named from 1 to 8. So if you take the first letter F facing to the right, angle 1 and angle 5 are equal because they are above the first line and the second line. Also, you can see that angle 4 and angle 8 are equal because they are under the first line and under the second line. Coming to the right side, angle 2 and angle 6 are equal because this is a letter which is facing to the left. Above the first line and above the second line are equal, or below the first line and below the second line are also equal. So these are all corresponding angles and they are equal. Let us move on to the second property of the lines which are formed between parallel lines. This is called alternate interior angles. Alternate interior angles are also equal, but here we follow the letter Z. You know, from the shape, the Z is formed here. Here you can see the angles which are formed at the turning points are equal. These are the examples. You can also see the letter Z facing towards right. Here, also here, the angles which are formed at the turning are equal. These two angles are equal. Let us see in detail. Here you have 2 sets of parallel lines. The angle 3, which is on the left side, is equal to angle 5 on the right side. Again, from the shape Z, which is facing to the right side, angle 4 and angle 6 are also equal. These are called alternate interior angles because these are inside the parallel lines. Now let us see what are alternate exterior angles. Again, because it is alternate, we follow the shape Z. but this time it is exterior. So we have to consider the angle outside the parallel lines. So at the turning point above and at the turning point outside are equal. Again, we can see it when a Z shape is facing towards right, the angle formed at the turning point outside at the top and outside at the base are equal. Let us see in detail. This is a Z facing towards right side. Angle 1 is equal to angle 7 and angle 2 is equal to angle 8. Now let us move to the third property of the angles formed between two parallel lines. This is called interior angles on the same side of the transversal. Interior, so we are talking about the angles inside. These two are interior angles, and remember this should be on the same side of the transversal. If you take the right side, both of them on the right. If you take left side, both of them should be on the left side. Interior angles on the same side of the transversal are called by different names. This is also called as same side interior angles, or another name is consecutive interior angles, or co-interior angles, and allied angles. Allied angle is another common name called for this property. Allied angles. But here, apart from the first property and second property, here these two angles are not equal. You can see it from here. The first one is an obtuse angle and the second one is an acute angle. So they are never equal. So what do you understand? They are not equal, but they are supplementary. We have studied about the word supplementary. Supplementary means two angles. When you add them, we will get the number 180 degree. So in a pair of allied angles, those two angles, when you add, we are gonna get 180 degree. For example, if this angle is 100 degree, this must be 80 degree, because when you add them, you will get 180 degree. Same can be applied on the left side as well. If the first angle is 80 degree, the second angle will be 100 degree. So let us see in detail. Here you can see the C shape facing left side or the C shape facing right side. Angle 4 plus 5 is 180 and angle 3 plus 6 is also 180 degree. Let us summarize all the properties that you studied today. Number 1 that you studied was corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are forming F shape. Second one is alternate interior angles, which is forming Z shape. And co-interior angles, which is also called same side interior or allied angles, is forming a C shape. All the three can also face to the opposite side. Corresponding angles are equal. Alternate angles are equal, but co-interior angles are not equal. Here, these two angles, when you add, we will get the answer 180 degree, which is called supplementary angles. In addition to these three properties, we should also recall the property that you studied before, vertical angles or vertically opposite angles, which is forming an X shape. The angle which is at the top will be equal to the angle which is at the bottom, and the angle which is at the left will be equal to the angle at the right side. For example, if this is 110 degree, this will also be 110 degree. If this is 70 degree, that will also be 70 degree. And the last set of angles that you have to use in the pair of parallel lines is linear pair. Linear pair means at a point, two angles will form a straight line, which will be equal to 180 degree. At a point, two angles which will add up to 180 degree. Here, for example, 110 plus 70, when you add, you will get the answer 180. These two angles form a linear pair. That's all for today. Hope the idea is clear. See you later.